Hi, I'm Jamie Lee. Welcome back to my channel, Go Happy Yourself. And today we're freewheeling it right now. I have a lot of things to tell you. And the first is one of my core beliefs is that everything happens for a reason. And so this is a little bit of a PSA announcement right at the beginning, in that, I'm notorious for when the smoke detector alarms start going off in the middle of the night because your battery is dead. I'll disconnect them from the ceiling to shut them up because you don't have the 9-volt battery in your drawer at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they always go off at 3 o'clock in the morning. Am I right? So I would disconnect them. I throw the detector in a closet somewhere under stuff because it continues to beep, and it's just something that goes right through you. You know what I'm talking about. And then I don't replace them. I don't get the battery, or if I did try to get the battery, I got the battery, but then I couldn't connect it back to the ceiling. So I just leave them off, and I never had them. And in my condo in Charlotte, I never had a smoke detector working. I had the empty spots on the wall, on the ceiling. So the same thing happened in my house in Florida last year. In the summer, I think, is when I took them down. And they would have stayed down. Because really nothing's ever going to happen, right? So about 6 months ago, I had an electrician come in to hang a ceiling fixture. And he saw the gaping holes in my ceiling, and he's like, what's going on there? And I said, well, the smoke detector, blah, blah, blah. And he was not having it. He told me to go to Home Depot right this minute and buy this particular smoke carbon monoxide detector, buy 5 of them because that's how many needed to be replaced. And because he looked at the ones that were in my house and they were very, very old, and he's like, get these, go get them now. I'm staying here until you come back and I'll put them up. And so I did that. And I'm going to tell you, if he had said, go get them, I'll come back, I would never have done it. But he was very insistent. And so I did it. And Sunday, I had some people at my house. We might have had some alcohol. And when they left, I was doing a rough clean before I could go to bed. I had a headache. And I inadvertently turned the burner on the gas stove on. But when you turn it on really fast, it doesn't ignite. You have to hit the ignite, switch first, whatever. You can tell I cook a lot. And then it was just gas escaping into the house, and I had no idea. So because I had a headache, I took 2 Aleve PM before I went to sleep, and I was out. And at midnight or so, 12:30, the smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector went off. And there's no sleeping through that. It's constant, 4 loud, shrill beeps, and then she's on there saying, carbon monoxide, get out, whatever. I don't know what she was saying. So I immediately got up. I went to the oven. I thought maybe I had left the oven on or something, and the oven wasn't on. So I didn't even notice the burner on. So I left I called 911 because I didn't know what to do. And they told me, get out of the house. They sent the fire department. It's, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. They come immediately. They find out what's wrong. How embarrassing. And, I asked them, because this alarm is still going off, and they said it'll go off automatically when there's no more carbon monoxide in the house. And so they left, and they said, open up all the doors and windows to clear out the house. Well, if this was, 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, I would have done that, but it's, a Sunday night at, after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was not going to do that to my neighbors. So I left everything closed up, but I knew I couldn't stay in the house. So I tried to sleep on my lanai outside. And it was still really, really loud. And so there was really no sleeping going on. Plus, I just had some chairs out there. It's not like you can lying in bed or whatever. But it is Florida, so it wasn't cold or anything. So that was the good thing. But it took 3.5 hours for the carbon monoxide to dissipate where the detector went off. 3.5 hours. So, if those old alarms hadn't gone bad, and had my electrician not been here and been so insistent, because the old alarms I don't think even had carbon monoxide detectors. So if it wasn't for my electrician, 6 months ago insisting that I do that, I wouldn't be here today. I would not be here today. So everything happens for a reason. I will tell you that. I've had so many examples of that this week. So that's my public service announcement for today, is that please, 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 I know how annoying those detectors are. Please make sure that if you have the old kind, that you upgrade to the new kind. If you have the old kind and they're new, then just go out and invest in a carbon monoxide detector, because you need to have that, because that would probably kill you before, your house goes up in flames. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a silent killer, and it could be anything. It could be leaving your stove on if you have a gas stove. It could be anything, okay? It couldn't be something that's even not related to you. Maybe it's a city or whatever that has carbon monoxide leaking into your house. So please, please, please make sure you take care of that today. So the other thing that happened, so that's my public service announcement, and we're gonna, move on from there. But another thing that happened, in that everything happens for a reason, and everything happens to you when it's supposed to happen. Somebody also said a long time ago, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So I have two good friends, Carol and Rick Gabrielli. And Rick Gabrielli was my coach, and he's the one that helped me Go Happy Yourself started. And he was my life coach back in end of 2016, 2017. He and his wife became amazing, amazing friends of mine. They are I just love them so much. So Rick helped me during my coaching to write my book, Go Happy Yourself. But last year during the pandemic, they announced that they wrote their book, The Currency of Connection. And so immediately I got the book, because for no other reason, to support them, but I knew that it was going to be something that I wanted to read. But life happens, and the book came. It was on back order, and the book came, and it sat on my coffee table until just recently. Actually today, when I picked it up to tell you about it. But what happened was, I happened to be on a call with Rick and Carol earlier this week on Thursday, and we were having a discussion, not about this book. We were having a discussion about your vibration and energy and, stuff we love to talk about. And I had asked Carol a question, and she's like, "But Jamie, have you even read our book?" So I had to admit that I hadn't, but that I wanted to, and I just don't have the time. And then Rick said, "Well, we're on Audible, just download it, you dumbass." No, he did not say that, but so I was so excited. And then he told me something even more exciting, was that he and Carol read the book, which is something that I always look for when somebody, writes their book, like Michelle Obama or Barack or Bruce Springsteen. I like when, if it's your book and it's about you, you read it, because I want to hear you speak about your life. So they did it, and I I couldn't download it when I was on the phone with Rick because I needed the phone, but I would have done it that minute. But the minute we hung up the phone, I downloaded the book. So that was Thursday, and today is Saturday, and I've listened to it twice. And I swear I'm going to be listening to it until I can memorize it, okay? So there's a reason why I didn't read it last year, because I wasn't ready for the lesson. So first I have to plug them. They have no idea that I'm doing this, but please get the Currency of Connection. So what I would say is, and I would never tell you to do this, I would never tell anybody to do this, get the Audible version and get the hard copy. And the reason why, the Audible version is literally like you're sitting at their kitchen, their dining room table, and you're privy to the conversation, okay? That's how relaxed it is that they're talking about this. And it's so easy to digest, okay? So it's like a conversation, but a ton of information, okay? And, but then you want the book because you're gonna wanna highlight stuff and you're gonna wanna go back, and you can flip through it rather than having to, fast forward to try to find the spot. You're gonna be able to pick it up. You can highlight stuff, bookmark it, stickies, whatever you need to do, but you're gonna need it. So the thing that I got out of this yesterday, which was the biggest gift, was, and if you listen to my last couple of videos that started on my birthday, is being I hate to say unsatisfied because I have so much, but unsettled or unsure of what my purpose is, okay? Like everybody feels like they have this giant purpose that they're supposed to fulfill in their life, right? And that's what I was feeling. And I thought, somebody once said that if you're still on this earth, you haven't fulfilled your purpose yet. And so I keep wondering, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, time is running out. What am I supposed to be doing that I haven't done? And I thought, when I took care of my dad, I'm like, okay, well, that's clearly why I was here, is, to take care of him and bring him to end of life and help him transition and do whatever. And I did that. And then I was like, well, what now? It can't be that this is, all it is. All I do, especially during this pandemic, is I go to work and I come home, and I go to work and I come home. And yes, I do my best job at work, but what am I supposed to be doing? I feel like, sending an email or scheduling some meetings is not the purpose that God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, has for me. What is my purpose? And so one of the things that came out of this book for me was, and I don't know if it was a quote, but Rick said that, your life is God's gift to you. And what you do with it is your gift back to God. And that was like a smack upside the head. I mean, there were so many things that I got out of that book, but that's something that just keeps repeating over and over and over in my head. And I'm like, okay, I get this. And so how I live my life every day is giving my gift back to God. So I have to, I'm not doing great things. I'm not curing cancer, doing brain surgery or anything, but I am living a life that I think God would be proud of. And I give love from my heart every day, which is another huge topic that they talk about. And it was clearly something that I've said in my last video since my birthday, and that, I feel like I am sorely lacking in my life because I don't have someone that loves me. And I have people that love me. Clearly, I have many friends and family that love me so much, but I'm talking about love in the romantic sense, in the physical sense, and I don't have that. And it is something that I've wanted since I was able to want anything. I've always wanted that. I get emotional still talking about it, but what Carol and Rick said, and I will get the numbers wrong, is that when you're, we're all energy and we all vibrate at a level. I don't even know what the technical term is, but when you vibrate at a level of like 700 and I don't no. When you're vibrating at a love level, you're vibrating at a 500, and most people vibrate at like a 200, but when you vibrate from love, when you're coming from love, when everything that you do is from love, whether it's getting gas at the gas station or talking to a teacher or whatever, you're coming at it from love, that you're putting your vibration out there, and your energy, that you're vibrating at a level that can emit and change the lives of like 750,000 people. So I don't know how that happens. I don't know. I do know when I'm coming from a place of love in everything that I do, I can feel the difference. I do know that I've been vibrating higher in the past couple of weeks, and it's an amazing feeling. And if this is true, and that's all I can do, is that I put love out into the world, and I can change other people, and that maybe by raising my vibration and I come in contact with you and can raise your vibration, even if we never have an interaction, a meeting, we don't become lovers or whatever, but if just by being in contact with you, I can change your vibration, and then you go out and change somebody else's vibration, we could change the world, right? So that is a pretty damn good purpose to be on the planet. So this has been an eye-opening week for me. There's been some other things that have happened. I don't want to make this video too long, but so the last couple of videos that I did, I'm going to say that I was a little bit on the downside because I was still dealing with this loss of possibly never having this romantic love that I so long for in my life. And it was affecting a lot of things in my life. And I feel like now it isn't. And I'm going to do another video right after this about a different topic. But just check your vibrations. When you leave the house, make sure everything you do comes from a place of love. Go at everything with a pure heart. When you look at people with a pure heart, they look differently. Wayne Dyer always says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I might have paraphrased that incorrectly, but that's the gist. And so it's all perspective, and So here, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I thought I didn't have a purpose. Now I do. And I realize what a great purpose it is. What greater purpose than putting love into the world? So I know it's something I can do. I'm really, really good at it. So I bet you are too. So until next time, which will probably be in 5 minutes, take care and go have yourself.